2025 is going to be an epic year. And even though 2024 was the era of AI, but there are so many new things that I'm really looking forward to in the year 2025. There are e-commerce brands coming up which are turning the tables around. There are companies investing another couple of billions of dollars in AR VR, including Google and Meta. There is a copy-paste culture which is coming up in design, and so much more that we are going to talk about in today's video. Every new UX UI design trend that you can look forward to in the year 2025. Alright, let's begin with a new style of augmented reality or mixed reality which companies are now investing. I'm calling this the minimal era of AR design. A lot of early iterations of AR gadgets or mixed reality gadgets were over the top. All the designs were out there and trying to be overly immersive, extra immersive, just to give you that feel of depth in space and 3D and whatnot. Now, remove all that. And going forward, we're not going to use AR, VR or MR anymore. Let's just call it XR because this is what most companies are using. With the new design trend, you can see a lot of minimal cues around the world while you're walking. So you can see, okay, a bunch of pop-ups that pop around so as to hide anything in your peripheral view. And at the same time, it solves the problem of quickly seeing something in your environment while wearing something on your face. And of course, this year we also saw Mark Zuckerberg in his non-robotic human era trying to bring attention to their Meta glasses that they're working together with Ray-Ban. Once again, very similar to what Google is working on, a minimal approach to XR or extended reality, where it's just quick button presses, slight visual indicators, as well as audio indicators to VR kind of running in the background instead of being in your face. This is what Apple found balance with, where they wanted you to have a minimal experience while also having the whole Mac OS style experience or the iOS experience right in front of your eyes. This definitely is a step forward with them again scrapping a lot of the Android ecosystem kind of visuals that you already see on Android tablets or Android phones, and then of course bringing in just a cleaner version of their current existing material design. Okay, next up is the copy-paste era that we just spoke about in the beginning of the video. The copy-paste era is something that is being brought up because of upcoming industries. Oftentimes when we see a new industry where the products are pretty new, the audience or the user base is pretty new, during such times of new products in an industry coming out, you see a lot of copy-paste, or as most designers like to call it, Jacob's Law. Essentially saying if something isn't broken, if something already works for users, then try to bring an experience that works similar to that, which I wholeheartedly agree to. Jacob was completely right. But we also have to understand that brands need to represent themselves, need to make themselves look unique, at least from their UIs. I'm going to pop up 3 very popular quick commerce applications that are here in India, and each one of them has almost identical, just tell me I'm wrong, almost identical UI designs, as well as the search bar with these categories. Even some of the icons look extremely eerily similar. I can bet some of these were from the same design library or the same icon pack. The same problem also occurs with artificial intelligence, especially on the software side, on the consumer software side. If you check out Apple Intelligence, which was recently launched in 2024, artificial intelligence is following this whole gradient border pattern, which is another design trend we'll come to later. But this gradient border pattern, a lot of these really blue, purple, pink kind of gradients that they're kind of mixing well together, almost all are kind of based around this. Another kind of cool observation that you can make are the little sparkle icon that AI is being represented by. It's almost as if it's magic. They're trying to market it as a magical tool. I kind of get it, but then it is overpowering and it can be everywhere in every AI application out there. The next design trend is sort of close to my heart because I'm seeing this in a lot of places and I dig it wholeheartedly. It's the bold type and the packaging design that you see out there influencing web and app design. How cool is that? I mean, if you go to a store and you find something cool, maybe like a chocolate bar, the packaging is minimal, but there is one aspect, which is the text, which is completely blown out of proportion. Looks great because the font is very clean. it's paced well, and it kind of has this distortion effect as well on this package. This year in 2025, I hope to see a lot more going forward, a lot of packaging design influencing web UI design, and the same happening the other way around. Now this next one I have sort of mentioned in UX Breakdown episode 3, something that I'm doing on this channel. If you haven't, you should check it out. This is glowing borders. But glowing borders implemented in very, very contrasting styles. This one thing really caught my eye on Dribbble. This was sort of a redesign of Luma AI's landing page by Unfold Studio. And as you can see, this very, very thick, could have been ugly, but was saved by this really cool gradient glowing effect, is this border, and with this nice little smooth border radius, adds actual sort of highlight to the screen, to this little screenshot they've put up. And this can be sort of clubbed with other techniques and areas, one being the hover animation. There is this really cool Figma file that you can grab for free, which uses your mouse. So it follows your mouse around, and you can hover over the card. Whichever area of the card you hover over, it sort of glows up with this nice little border animation. This gradient glowing animation kind of works with grids very well, surprisingly well. If you hover over like a sort of a grid, it continuously moves from one part of the grid to the other. You see this on a lot of websites these days, so I had to bring this into the limelight. Also, we saw this with a lot of cool assets that were in 2024. This cool little Figma experiment, another one where there is this flat border, a flat line, and then there's this really nice glowing effect happening at the bottom. Once again, playing on this whole border, gradient, glow sort of effect that we're gonna see a lot more. Probably on every app, on every graphic design, you're gonna see this sort of copy pasted like we just spoke about. Talking about AI, we've spoken so much on AI. Let's talk a little about how AI is sort of affecting the design world right now, because that is also a design trend. Now, AI is affecting design in 3 ways, I believe. Number 1 is creating new career paths. Number 2 is replacing tasks in the day-to-day task list of designers. So basically changing designers' workflow. And number 3, upgrading designers in ways we never imagined we would be upgraded. The number of AI-generated image designers or graphic designers or mid-journey designers, the number of jobs that are in thousands right now. It still is astounding that a lot of companies are hiring individuals who are having these particular skills, who possess these skills right off the box. They might have graphic design skills, but then they also possess AI skills, this AI tool skills, whatever you want to call it. A lot of companies are getting their designers trained in AI tools and prompt engineering, whatnot. So yes, embracing AI is the new norm, and you should get on the bus right now. On the other hand, a lot of design tools, including, illustration tools like Procreate, graphic design tools, in 2024, they declared that they would never ever want to bring AI tools inside their already wonderful illustration tool. Okay, voice interfaces are making a comeback. I didn't know I would say that in 2024, but well, we are here. You probably saw people talking to these AI models just as if they were talking to a real human in real time. So you don't even have to press a button. It's just constantly conversing with you. You can say something in the middle of a sentence and they'll stop and they'll listen. Now, we also see Siri being powered by ChatGPT to bring better results for people. Now, this is something that a lot of people have spoken up in the past. There is actually a tool that can help you sort of get into this space. It's called VoiceFlow. VoiceFlow is like Webflow. Webflow is for design. Webflow is a design tool for designers to create websites. Webflow is a tool that is focused on non-developers, non-coders to create these automative tasks using voices. Something like Amazon Alexa or something like Siri. You can generate these, put them on your own websites, include them in your apps, whatnot. VoiceFlow is sort of the design tool for voice interfaces, I would say. What's cool about voice interfaces is that it's sort of taking a little bit of a charming approach this time. It's going to be very continuous. So it's almost as if you're talking to a live person and not the age-old formula of you speaking, then it gives you an answer back, and then you ask it something again. It just doesn't make sense, doesn't feel human. Once again, proving that no trend truly dies. It can always make a comeback. Now, this next one is absolutely amazing. It's my personal favorite. I think this is like top 1, top 2 is live, moving, full page background gradients. I know I took way too long to say that, but these are genuinely very long. You just keep on scrolling and these gradients sort of follow the change based on the kind of page you're on, or the voice assistant pops up, or whether there's a chat. Everything is affecting these background gradients, and I'm loving them. Some companies take this very light, very smooth, easy on the eyes, similar to the branding kind of approach. But some companies just throw it in your face, like Arc browser on your phones or even on your desktops, have these big, bold blue and shifting into purple or pink sort of gradient in the background. Looks really nice though. And once again, changes behavior. It can be used for things like loading animations. If something is loading, you see these nice little gradients flowing from the top to the bottom or the bottom to the top. See also very, very cool background gradients which are focusing on different aspects of the app. If you see like those flow period app which kind of focuses on different aspects of a woman's health, often has different gradients of colors for different sections. Once again, proving that colors can be effective tools for navigation. But I'm really happy because you don't see such trends in the limelight because they're just literally in the background, but this is coming into the limelight. I think this is really cool. I think you can use plugins like Super Gradient or Complex Gradients in Figma to actually make this come to life. You don't have to use something like Illustrator or ask the developer to do it or anything. I love cinema. You love cinema. No, this is not a sponsor I'm talking about. This is the next design trend, which is cinema, cinematic movements, motions, things that we could not do maybe 5 years ago because of graphical limitations or device hardware limitations. But finally, because almost everybody on earth has an iPhone or a really cool Android phone which runs pretty well, we can actually create applications and designs which have sort of these sequential animations, things flying and things sort of opening up. A box opens up, all of a sudden something pops out. These were sequences, animation sequences that were popular on Dribble, but designers said no to because of course developers find it difficult to implement, takes a lot of cost, a lot of time to implement. But now you'll be surprised to know that even Lottie supports a lot of these cinematic stuff going forward. You can literally use Lottie files in Figma and actually implement this. This cinematic, I'm calling it cinematic because it feels like that. It feels like I'm a kid again. Just seeing these sequences, just seeing these keyframe animations, these complex After Effects that's kind of implemented in the form of Lottie, in the form of WebGL on websites, who knows. But whatever the implementation is, as long as it's lightweight, as long as it works well, people are ready to invest a little more time in watching things happen, all these cool animations, because now apps want to differentiate themselves. Copy paste goes out of the window and people want to have unique experiences. The next one's happening in the design tool space, something which of course you guys know I love. This is where design focused tools are shifting to also cater to developers, and development tools are shifting to cater to designers. Well, it's sort of confusing, but listen to me for a sec. Figma, in a lot of its recent updates, has made it very clear that it also wants to cater to developers and has focused a lot of the new updates on dev mode. Similarly, I've seen actual Flutter development apps or Node.js apps where you can actually test out your apps in websites, but they also now have Figma-esque features where you can just drag and drop and change colors and whatnot. Once again, proving that development tools also can cater to designers. And of course, the middle ground, where this year was probably one of the biggest years for Framer. No-code tools have gotten a huge push this year. Once again, because a lot of companies want to come into the limelight with a lot of new industries sort of blowing up. We are seeing a shift into no-code platforms, into platforms which cater to both kind of people, and once again, a shift in how design tools are perceived. Last but not the least is a rapid fire with you guys, real quick, showcasing all the ones that I've left out of the video because I think they're way too common to kind of showcase. One, dark mode has become way more common than what it used to be, and a lot of people just use it as their night mode, so as to say now. So yes, we will see a lot of apps just being either primarily dark mode or having a better dark mode now. Focusing on dark mode will be a good investment because now everyone tries to use dark mode at night, at least. The next one is, of course, 3D designs, again getting a huge push because Adobe came up with their own user-friendly, design-focused 3D tool for the web, and other companies also utilizing 3D for giving a better experience on the landing pages, on apps and whatnot. Once again, 3D just being in the limelight as it is. It doesn't get a lot of changes this year. You can implement other design trends with 3D, so it kind of makes sense. Hyper-personalization, something that you will see on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, e-commerce apps, food delivery apps, everywhere. They're trying to personalize your experience based on places you live, the kind of weather there is out there, the kind of festivals happening near you, and giving more space for you to be able to do you or to get what you really want faster, and they'll have more sections dedicated to you. Also, they might show you themed stuff. So it could be a new Barbie movie coming up and Barbie sponsors these apps and you'll find Barbie everywhere. So you get the gist of it. Long cards and bento style cards coming to mobile. Now, this is something that you would see on websites, but bento is also coming to mobile. You see a lot of these all-in-one apps where you see some of these apps maybe using bento for onboarding process or to showcase different features or to even give you choices and options at the beginning of or the starting of the application, whatnot. Like bento grids can come in handy in multiple ways on mobile as well. Content-focused designs keep on making headway. A lot of apps now are implementing shorts and reel or TikTok style kind of content on their apps. You have food delivery apps which have food or restaurant highlights where restaurants can upload their quick short videos and that shows up and pops up. A lot of Lottie-esque technologies coming in. It could be the .lottie file format, which is again pioneered by a lot of the people at Lottie Files and Airbnb. New platforms like Rive and Lottie Labs coming in, which again are giving a boost to that. The more tools we have to kind of implement these cool things that we see online, the more designers will start implementing. Makes sense. Hopefully in 2025, a lot of design-focused products and companies make way for new tech, new designs, new trends coming up. The best part is you get to see all of that happening on this channel with my new series called Design Breakdown, where I break down new UX design trends and why is it happening. Hopefully you found this design trends video helpful. If you did, best thing is share this video with communities, with people you know, and even with that old school designer who just doesn't want to change themselves. With time, let them know that a lot of new cool things are happening. I'll see you every week just like this. Until next time, hit the like button, supports me a lot. Leave a comment down below on what you think, what's going to be the next big hit in the 2025 space. And I'll see you next time. Until next time, take care. God bless.